tarmac terrorist and the potato.
Hey folks, Tarmac back with another video. This video I actually started making footage for before last weekend, and I'm only just getting it finished now because of course we had a monster, historic weekend with the 24-hour Le Mans virtual race. What an amazing weekend that was. I spent most of that weekend watching it. All of the professional drivers from F1 and other categories, 37 countries, people driving from 37 countries, 175 computers connected. It was absolutely immense. Well done to the organisers, well done to Studio 397, well done to Rfactor 2, and all of the sim racers, of course. I spent some of the time swapping between the live feed, the official live feed, and the live feed of a very famous YouTube sim racer and soon to be real life racer. It was just fantastic. The atmosphere was brilliant, but that could be a whole other video. So I did promise in my last video that I would do a follow-up video to my comparison of the MCR 2000 to the old Radical SR3 RSX, and well, that's done now. And I think if you remember the last video, I was a little bit surprised at the end of the last video by the results of how fast I was able to get around VIR with the MCR, considering I only had about 35 minutes with that rather than a few days with the Radical. So I've done a bit of further testing as well as the race. The race will be at the end of this, end of my bit of waffling. So you'll see that soon. But just as a very conclusive result, I did some lap times. Just did some lap times with the Radical, did some lap times with the MCR. Did about 3 or 4 laps each time to get, because I've got quite a good amount of practice with both cars now, so I was able to get good consistent lap times. And the results are surprising again, but it's the way it was going. The MCR is faster. Just looking at the times I've recorded here, I'll put the results both up on the screen. I'll put the Radical up first and the MCR results up second. So here they're coming now. You can pause the video if you like, just to see the times. Here they are. Right, so there you go. The MCR is faster. The Radical came in, the most I was able to achieve was 2 minutes 34.774, and even because I did that with the base setup, I thought I'd muck around with the setup a bit and do what I'd done with the MCR, and I was only able to achieve just less than a second faster than that, 2:33 something, mid 2:33s. The MCR came in with those slight setup adjustments that I made in the last video at 2 minutes 31.868. So there you go. Now the results of the race, I'll put them up at the end of the race as well. You'll see that the Radicals beat the MCRs by a little bit of a margin. Most of the cars at the top of the results are the Radicals. However, I did wonder if that might be down to AI, and after a bit of testing I found that actually it was. I found that with the MCRs, if I did a race just with the MCRs, then I had to have them at a higher strength than I did with the Radicals. So when I did the race, I put it in between those strengths. It was about 106% strength, and I think it's mainly just because the AI are slightly faster with the Radicals than they are with the MCRs from the Reezer pack. So that kind of explains that one. Let's see what else to say. I did find that you take slightly different lines with the MCR than you would with the Radical, because with the Radical you're able to use a lot of that power oversteer out of a corner, whereas with the MCR that'll lead to you sort of pushing right to the outside of the corner because it just hasn't got as much grunt. So you use a lot more of the lift off oversteer. So you use slightly different lines. But the conclusive result is that you gotta try this combination. Get the MCR, get the Radical, get a strength that's not somewhere nicely in the middle of both of them, and have yourself a race. Because I tell you what, if you watch any of my videos, watch what's coming up next. You've got to see this video. It honestly was one of the best races against the AI I have ever had, if not one of the best races I've ever had against anyone. It was absolutely fantastic. It's a real testament to Rfactor 2's AI as well. It's just fantastic. And I'm going to stop waffling now and leave you with it. Here's the race. For the second time at VIR, we're about to go green. Here we go. I'm also restarting the race because I won another race. It was great. That was actually great, despite my terrible driving. We've got an MCR just overtook us there. Can we get it back? He's still there. He's gone to. Oh! Radical came out of nowhere there. Got another MCR behind us. Let's see who these people are. See Elliot in front of us, Mr. Wright behind us. In the orange MCR, Elliot in the black and blue. Radical, I think. Oh, yeah, a little bit of slip, but I just can't call like the Radical can there. Can we get close to him before the start of this straight? Yeah. Got the legs on. Thought he had the legs on me just out the corner, but we are close enough for some slipstream, and here we go! We've taken the Radical, we've taken Elliot. Oh, I've gone way too wide. Way too wide. Elliot's still there. Oh! Pass by Mr. Wright. Down into spiral. Oh my god, this is fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic racing. And we've got Wright. Oh, Wright's there. He's still there. Oh my god, people, is that not a testament to how absolutely fucking great the AI in Rfactor 2 can be? Absolutely fucking amazing. This is awesome. On this amazing track with these amazing cars. I've never ever tried this before until I decided to make these comparison videos, and putting these two cars together on a track is just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. These two come through NASCAR bands. Catching back up with Mr. Wright there. He is hot on the heels of Elliot. Absolutely glued to his back end, but overtaking through this uphill climbing S's section is at, you know, around 130 miles an hour. It's not an easy feat. Oh, we're getting attacked from the rear. I can't look at who that is at the moment. They're in red. There we go. Can we use the slipstream as we come along Madison Avenue? Up behind Wright. We're right in there. Yes. A bit earlier on the brakes because we're on the inside. Oh, he's still there. He's still there. He's still there! He held it on the outside. We'll try and stick with him as we come through spiral. Oh, too much understeer. I should have put more power down the back end, but I didn't do it. We're getting pushed so far to the outside and I've lost some time. Oh, we're getting pushed right to the outside. And that long left-hander there. Bit of a lift to come over the crest, and we're catching him. Oh. Can't take the inside as we go from roller coaster. Let's try and be sensible. Leave it for the big long straight. Here we go. We've got out of roller coaster. Sorry, Hogg's pen a lot better than I did, but I'm still in the draft. Can we make it? Can we make it? Here we go. We're going to go for the inside this time. That was close. Hard on the brakes. Oh, maybe I should have gone for the outside line. What an amazing battle I'm having with Wright here. This is absolutely fantastic. As we come through NASCAR bend, hot on his heels. Up to left hook. Have a look down the inside, but no. Now! Someone's made a mistake in front of us. That will possibly give time to shuffle the pack, and yes it has, because it's caused it to slow down. We're through it! We're through it! Going with the climbing races now! This is dangerous! We've got it! Through the climbing races! Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Oh my god! This is one of those points in sim racing, even though it's just AI, where you're absolutely sweating your tits off! And tense as anything, but oh my god, do you love it? And let's see how he gets dropped. He's retaking the pace. Oh, this is so close. This is so close. I'm leaving the brakes as late as I can. I've got the inside line. Gonna keep it. Right, it's come through as well. I swear, I think this is one of the best races against the AI I've ever had. Oh, he's shut the door. This is unbelievable action. Oh! I lost so much time coming out of that corner there. But I'm gaining on him again. See here, a little bit of a left. Easy to lose it over that curve as we come towards roller coaster. We were on the inside, but we didn't get the nose on him. So once again, let's try and take him on the straight as we come out Hogg's pen, a little bit sideways. There we go. Right, let's see what we can do. He's going for a look down the inside. He doesn't have the nose. He's still there. But I'm shutting the door. We kept it through horseshoe. Getting it all. I've got 2 NASCAR bands. Tie on the apex for left hook. Just try and keep the foot all the way down as we come into snake. We've got the legs. Right, keep calm, tarmac. You fool, don't do what you did in the last race. Don't get overexcited and overconfident and lose it. Just calm and right arm down, calm and right arm down now. Calm down too much and forget you at the top of your rev range there. Right, braking now. There's a little bit of that lift off oversteer. Power it out. Keep it nice and smooth through spiral. You see there, as I rounded that corner, we got about mid-corner, and then I had to start turning the steering wheel even more, about another half or a third more than I already had it. Same here, look at that. Must be stripping the rubber off those front tyres. Oh no! Don't lose it. Don't lose it. I am absolutely dripping with sweat here, guys. It's quite warm here today in Norfolk, and I'm right next to the window. It's dark because I've got the curtains drawn, but oh, might as well be in a fire suit at the moment, which it would be if we were racing properly. It's about as late as I dare leave the brake in for horseshoe. I can use all the power as I come out of horseshoe because the back end doesn't really come around too much. Does under with the power, as you can see. I could use all the power coming out of horseshoe because it hasn't got the grunt to start kicking the back end out. But as we went round NASCAR bend, I lifted off, and you've got that lift off oversteer that this car's so prone to. Even though through practice and qualifying I did make some setup changes. Just loosened the back anti-roll bar a little bit and softened the back suspension quite a bit. But this time around I kept the weight distribution as standard. I thought shifting the rate to the front might help give me some oversticking out corners, but it didn't work. It just made the back end lighter, so it made the lift off oversteer even worse. So we kept that standard. It is handling a little bit better. Where are we? We're in P11. We've got Martin in front of us. Ramito! There's Mr. Ramito. We were behind in the last race. We can catch him. We are on. We're only on lap 5. Only halfway through. We are climbing the field. We get more and more used to this car. Honestly, either of these cars, get the Radical, get the MCR, you know, for £4.65 for the Radical and £2.60 odd, £2.60, nothing for the MCR, or just get the whole reason. Oh my God! Look at that! That was Ramito! Ramito looking like he'd rolled about 8 times there, coming up the track. I don't know what happened. I saw bits of the car coming up as he rolled. Oh God. That would be a terrifying thing to see in real life. And imagine if this had the kind of damage physics and also visual damage physics that something like BeamNG has, or the old GTR2, there would be bits of car flying absolutely everywhere. Broken suspension arms, wheels coming off. Wow, that was the biggest off I've seen any of the AI have around this track so far. My God, I really hope people haven't just skipped through the entire video and have seen this race, because this is fantastic. You know, this is why you know, this is why you drive Rfactor. It's brilliant, and then for offline racing, the AI, oh my God. Feeling more grip as the track's rubbering up. I've got my gearing completely wrong there. Gotta be careful of what I'm doing with my throttle when I'm changing up, because I'm keeping the foot down, it's wasting fuel. I'll put 15 laps of fuel into the car. It's only a 10 lap race. But I might end up using too much. I don't want to be running out of fuel because I'm over revving as I change gears. A little bit squirrely there. 232s! I'm hitting 232s on the lap times. Oh. I'm wondering how my right front is doing. The brakes are spot on at the moment, they're right up to temperature. Tyres. It's hard to tell with the tyres because the tyres are wearing slightly, but also the track's rubbering up slightly, so there's sort of a cancellation between the two there. I think we're going to start noticing them soon though, as we come through the second half of this amazing race. Oh no! Right, I think I'm already starting to feel it. Let's have a look. What's wrong? Something that vaguely resembles straight. No, we're doing all right. About 11% warm. Mind of the driving wants to scroll through the menus there. Way up behind Martin in the blue. I haven't got crew chief on at the moment, so I don't know. I'm not getting Jim in my ear telling me who's in front and who's behind, so I'm purely relying on having the odd glance down at the bottom right hand corner there. On this thing is so good. Oh, I'm very pleased with that. I think that's the best I've taken bitch corner so far. Oh yes, just can't use the power on the out there. I just got to push over steer, and that off camber just taking me right to the outside of the corner. Best to lift off. It's as tight as been to the inside of that corner so far as well. I think we're really catching here. Okay. I wonder how many people will watch this and think I should have a broken gearbox by now, the way I'm fluffing these gears up. Totally got the exit. Wrong gear for the exit there, that's lost me some time. If I had better resolution, I could tell you exactly what's in front of us. It looks like a Radical in yellow and a MCR in blue. Oh, it is, yeah. It's hard to see at the distance with resolution, which is 1100 by 1100 and something by 720. With about 3 levels of anti-aliasing on it. Oh, bit of a lock up there. Right, gotta concentrate. Oh, we use all of the curbs there. Here we go. The MCR Martin is going for the overtake on Schmutz. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but I can't read it properly at the moment. Oh my god, look at them, look at them. Oh no. Could have had that, but oh, it's too unstable. We came into Oak Creek there. We're not going to be able to get the slip. We'll take advantage of it. We're too far behind. We'll just start getting it just as we approach the corner, and then of course I've got to hit the brakes. Oh, look at them fight! They're absolutely shoulder to shoulder, door to door, side to side. This is amazing. He's going for it! Oh, and he took it off! Can I take advantage? Oh! That was so close! That was so close! Mitson went for Schmutch and he completely smudged it! Which has lost me quite a bit of time behind it, the yellow car here, but we have still taken a place. Oh no! No! Oh! Oh, folks, that was nearly. I could have rolled it there. The back end of my car just came up over that bump, probably about 3 foot in the air, something like that, 4 maybe. I don't think the tyres like that. A little bit of a, yeah, I picked up a little bit of a excessive wear, or possibly a flat spot there. I can feel it in the steering. We've got Mr. Wright. He's come back for the hunt. We lost all of that time. The rest of the pack has caught up right behind me. How are we doing? Lap number 9, after this 1 lap to go. And we are in 9th position. Sky's just darkened up a little bit there. We come over southbound. See if we can make it out of Oak Tree nice and fast. Get some space in between us and Wright. Hard on those brakes. Bit of seesawing of the wheel there. I didn't quite take that corner with confidence. Keep it smooth. Make it as late as I dare. Spiral. Well, they're in 3rd gear. Come on, pull. Oh, too much understeer out of that corner. I hadn't set it up right at all. Really struggling, really fighting this car through the corners now. Steering on this, the car being a lot lighter, well, a bit lighter than the Radical, but the steering being heavier. And this is just an old Logitech Driving Force Pro, which for what it is actually a really good wheel for what it is. Oh my, how I'd love a direct drive. But I have got 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go of this unbelievable race. I'm so glad that I decided to record this. I was going to have a bit of a practice before I recorded this one, and I've just gone straight into it, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. This has been one of the most exciting races I've ever had. Potato server needs Radicals on it. Or MCRs, but the MCRs cost money, so I'll try and put the free Radical on there. But both cars, the Radical, the MCR, just unbelievable fun to drive. For the last time, down a Madison Straight. Schmurch there, off in the distance. Looks like we're going to finish in 9th. I am happy with that, especially after my appalling performance in the first race. Through spiral for the last time. I think I'm not going to catch Smirch, so just hold this position as I see right round in the corner behind me. See if we can set this corner up a little bit better this time. Yes! 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 Stayed well to the inside that time. And leave it over that crest on the last lap, tarmac. I sound like a schizophrenic, don't I? Call myself tarmac 1 minute and falling out. Oh, down through roller coaster. Oh, we're about to cross the line of one of the most amazing races I have ever had with the AI. Why have I not done this before? Yes! Flash the lights, honk the horn. That was immense. That was immense. With a car that comes for free, the Radical, the old Radical, and a car that costs not more than £2.60 odd pence, the MCR, which I am now driving. That was literally one of the most exciting, enjoyable races I have ever had, whether online or against the AI. I mean, obviously, nothing beats racing real people, but that was just fantastic. Also, if you want your AI set up like mine, not just what I've got set here, I'm using 106% strength. I'll let the rest of the pack go through, and 106% strength. I think I'm on something like 50% damage rather than my usual 60, because the MCR's AI are a little bit more aggressive than the Radicals, so I lowered that a little bit. But if you want your AI to make the odd mistake, as you've seen they do, there's in your player file, in your JSON file, look for the line AI mistakes, set that from 0 to 1. And what that will do is that will make the AI capable of having the odd mistake, which mixes up the racing a bit. And as you can see, some of the stuff that's gone on throughout this race, it does make it uber exciting. Seriously, folks, I tell you what. The fun that I have just had, the excitement. I'm going to have a shower. I'm absolutely soaked now. It took so much. I feel like I've just had a workout as well. For anyone watching that's only just discovered sim racing or doesn't know what it's about, is watching this. This is what sim racing is. It's virtual, but the racing is bloody real. The racing is real. You imagine this with 17 other humans rather than computer-controlled cars. That's when it gets really superb. Guys, I don't really know what else to say. That was fantastic. Thank you for watching. All right, wasn't that was just awesome. In fact, it was so awesome. At the end of the race, I was so flustered and so elated that I just got out of the game and shut it down. Then realised I haven't got the results, so I reloaded them, but it's from a replay. So you get the results, but it doesn't show the lap times, unfortunately. However, that doesn't matter because we've proved conclusively that the MCR is faster. However, when you see these results, you will see that the Radicals took it most of the top of the field. It's the Radicals. We now know that's because of the AI. Also, through that race, you will have heard me mention that it was the second time round, or around VIR, because I'd done one practice race before. So anyway, here are those results. So here we are. I finished in 12th place. So let's see how it worked out between the Radicals and the MCRs. As you can see, there's my MCR there, bunch of Radicals. Some more MCRs over there. Let's have a look at these results. Then let's expand this. And this time round, the Radicals really had it. Look at that. There's one Radical in 17th place down with the MCRs. There's another one in 11th, and the rest of them have just taken the pretty much complete the entire half of the field. Look at that. Once again, let's look at the times. So let's look at my best lap time. I'm not getting that for some reason. Let's look at the Radicals. Oh, we're not going to get the lap times because this is from the replay. Is there any way we can do that? Any way at all? Damn. I so shouldn't have clicked out. No, we're not going to get those results. But as we can see, the Radical SRX beats the MCR. And I shall do another test to make sure that's not just the AI. I shall do my lap times just, with the Radical, and then some with just the MCR on an empty track. But I mean, looking at things, I'm in 12th place down with the Radicals there. And I'm not the fastest Radical. I've been beaten by Paul Martin just there. So obviously the times are consistent. Yeah, in fact, I don't think I need to do the lap time test. The Radical takes it. As we saw from the results from the last race, not by a lot, but the Radical takes it. Well, there you go, folks. But both cars are amazing to drive. Absolutely brilliant. Get them both.